So you're at that point in your journey where you're emailing loads and loads of manufacturers, but you don't seem to be getting a response from manufacturers that you actually want to work with. In this video, I am going to be diving into 9 possible reasons why manufacturers are not responding to your email. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Teddy G, and on this channel, I like to share my journey into growing my clothing brand, as well as dropping tips, tricks, gems, and all of that good stuff. And recently, I launched my starter kit, which is aimed at people that want to start a clothing brand but have no idea how to start. It is an extensive, structured guide as to how exactly to start a clothing brand, and I include so many resources, including my Italian manufacturer. So if you're interested in signing up to my online course, I will have it linked in the description as well as the chapter notes. Guys, the reviews I've been getting so far are really good, so I definitely encourage you to check it out, especially if you're in a position where you want to start a brand but have no idea where to start. But with that being all said, let's dive into the first reason why clothing manufacturers are not replying to your email. So the first reason is that your email is too vague. It is likely that the manufacturer that you want to work with is receiving so many inquiries from loads of different new brands, and if your email is too vague, they may just skip to the next one, which has more information about what that particular brand owner actually wants manufactured. It's a thing where they may be looking at your email and thinking, we don't want to waste our time. Does this person even know what they want? Maybe they're not in a position where they can actually, hold your hand and guide you through the process. So make sure you know exactly what it is that you want before you go ahead and email those manufacturers. That being said, however, point number 2 is that your email might be too long. Maybe you are too detailed. It's a fine balance between the two. Like mentioned before, manufacturers are receiving so many emails. So if they get your email and it's an essay, a dissertation, the likelihood of them being interested in reading through that email is, slim to none. And that might be another reason why they're not replying to your email. They literally don't need your whole life story. Of course, you need to include all of the relevant information, but you don't need to talk about the fact that your brand was started in 1962 by yourself and it's named after the Greek goddess of mythology or something like that. Like, they don't need to know all of that information. They just need to know the key bits. So make sure you are keeping your email concise and straight to the point. The third reason may be that they don't see potential in you. I'm sorry, I have to say it, they might just not see the potential in you coming back for repeat business. In this manufacturing game, a manufacturer only really wants to work with a brand that they know are going to keep coming back and giving them business, because honestly, that initial setup time, that initial getting to know you, getting to know the brand, getting to know what fabrics you like, it's long. So obviously they are gonna want to keep getting repeat business from you. So if in your email you're like, oh, I just want a one-off collection or whatever, that is definitely not a brand that they're gonna be interested in working with. Typically a lot goes into that initial sign-up process, so definitely let them know that you are looking for a manufacturing company that you can work with long term. Reason number 4 is that your email might have come across as rude. I personally don't know how you could possibly send a rude email, especially when you're asking for a service, but it could be that you're just like, hey, I'm looking for a manufacturer that does XYZ. You haven't even included any pleasantries like, hope you are doing well, my name is blah blah blah. Make sure you are polite in these emails and include the pleasantries, even if you feel like they're not necessary. Some manufacturers might take this to heart and think, we don't want to work with a rude brand owner. So that could be one of the reasons why they're not replying to your email. Reason number 5, which is similar to one of the reasons that I've covered before, but they might have taken a look at your brand. So maybe in your email address you've got your brand name in there, or in your links you might have your brand name in there. So they might have taken a look at your brand and thought, this brand is so small, they've only got 100 followers on Instagram, they are probably not going to meet our minimum order quantity or our requirements as a startup brand. Maybe you're not using a professional email address, so maybe you're using, I don't know, like gmail.com, or maybe your business isn't even registered. Maybe they've looked into all of these things and just decided that this brand is almost too new and we don't even want to dabble into working with this brand. So that could be a big reason why they are not replying to your email. Number 6 is a reason that is completely outside of your control, and it could be that they are at production capacity. Now, I have emailed clothing manufacturers in the past that have been at capacity, so I have definitely experienced this myself. So they would have replied to me and said, apologies, right now we are at capacity. Or it can be a thing where they're like, oh, amazing, you have come to us where we've had an opening. Like, it's definitely a reason why a manufacturer might not be getting back to your email. It could be that they just have no space for a new startup and are focusing on some of the brands that they already have in production already. And that actually brings me on to reason number 7, which is that they might be prioritizing brands that are already established and have no interest in working with a new brand at that present moment in time. I definitely feel like it's a little bit unfair because some of us new brands, some of you guys, we need to start from somewhere. And I feel like it's quite unfair when some of these manufacturing companies prioritize the bigger brands. Obviously, I get it because business is business, but sometimes help out the little people. Another reason, which is completely outside of your control, is that they could be receiving a high volume of emails and they might have just simply missed your email, or your email has gone to their spam because maybe I don't know, their email service provider just doesn't like the look of your email. It could be something like that. That is something that is definitely outside of your control, but it's definitely a reason why a manufacturing company might not be responding to your email. The final reason, which is kind of similar to another reason that I covered, and it could be that again you're not meeting their requirements, so they might have like a turnover requirement. Especially if you're in the UK, you can literally just look on Companies House and you can pull up the details, the accounting details of companies. So this manufacturing company might have done that and realized that actually they don't even meet our turnover requirement or whatever it may be. They might have decided that straight off the bat and decided just not to reply to your email. So those are the 9 reasons. But with that being said, don't feel hard done by. Make sure you are emailing as many manufacturers as you can. But when you are emailing these manufacturers, just bear in mind some of these points that I've covered, especially the ones that are in your control. So make sure your email is not rude. Make sure it's not too vague, but also make sure it's not too long. Make sure you are coming across like you are serious. You know what you're talking about. Make sure you know the lingo. So some of the words like MOQ, FOB, make sure you know all of those different words. And if you have sent an email and you haven't received a response and it's been 7 days or something like that, send a follow-up email because it could be that they've just missed it. I have definitely sent a couple of follow-up emails and they have gotten back to me with the reason why they haven't responded, or they might have just missed the email. So definitely send that follow-up email within 5 to 7 days of sending that initial email, and make sure it's a thing where it's in the same thread as the initial email, so that if they have missed it genuinely, they can just scroll up and see the initial email that you've sent them. So yeah, I really hope that this video has been helpful for you guys. And if you've made it this far into this video, I just want to let you know a little bit about the starter kit that I have and how it relates to this video. So in my starter kit, I actually have a full-on chapter where I cover how exactly to email a manufacturer or your manufacturer to increase your chances of actually receiving a response. So I mentioned it at the beginning of this video. I will have the starter kit kit linked in the description. And as well as guiding you to emailing manufacturers, I have included a manufacturer database, my own Italian manufacturers contact details, like direct contact details, as well as resources to help you find a manufacturer. So that's all of my starter kit, which I will have linked below. As far as this video, that is me. I really hope it's been helpful, and I am very much looking forward to catching you in my very next video.